Hello everyone, my name is Kenny Cormandy from the airgun channel My Airgun Reviews. I used to say from the YouTube channel My Airgun Reviews, but this video is going to be posted onto Daily Motion first before it goes on to YouTube, because everybody knows that YouTube is blocking ads going on to gun videos, and they're apparently including airgun videos. I am still seeing some ads on the airgun videos, but not all of them. So let's get to the review. Today we're looking at the Hatsan 125TH, which stands for the 125 model with the thumb hole stock. This gun used to sell for around $200. This is actually a refurbished by Hatsan. I bought it from Field Supply. I only paid $109 for it. The reason I purchased this rifle is I wanted to see what some of these certain pellets would do, you know, for ballistics test, because so many people say you can or cannot use a 177 rifle at certain distances. So I not only did the crony testing and a 20-yard accuracy test, I also did a 12-yard ballistics test with this gun. Okay, the gun is 9.3 pounds without a scope. It normally comes with a 3 to 9 by 32 non-adjustable objective scope. This one came without a scope, and I'm also including a little bit of information on this scope. It is a CVLife 6 to 24 power by 50 millimeter adjustable objective illuminated reticle mil-dot scope. And this scope sells for $39.99 on Amazon. And testing it on this rifle, it comes with some kind of cheap rings that I really didn't think were going to do the job, so I used a set of heavier duty rings. And this gun kicks like a mule, and this scope has stood up quite well so far. I am surprised. It's got a very unique reticle on it. Let me show you a little clip of what the reticle looks like. And overall, I am quite impressed. At 12 yards, I was able to get a clear reticle and sight objective up to 20 power. I had to turn the eye relief piece out just a little bit. I had to adjust this out a little bit farther for in close at 20 power, but it did a really good job. It's a very long scope, and I actually might have to put a one-piece mount on here, because the Hatsan dovetail combination scope mounting rail, it doesn't have cross grooves far enough back, and the scope is just a little bit farther forward than what's comfortable. I got to really lean into the gun. Overall, I really like the scope. I was absolutely amazed at how well it performed for $39.99. That's crazy. But we'll get to that. The gun does not have any silencer. It has a muzzle brake with a fiber optic front sight and a micro click adjustable fiber optic rear sight. The Weaver Picatinny combination 11 millimeter dovetail scope mounting rail, and it's got scope stop pins and a scope stop right back here. It has Hatsan's Quattro trigger, composite stock. It's fairly comfortable. It is most definitely a right-handed shooter's gun. Both the grip and the cheek rest are for right-handed shooters. A left-handed shooter would not be comfortable shooting this gun. So this is pretty much a right-handed shooter's gun. If you like what you see in your left-handed shooter, you probably want to go with the regular 125 model, not the TH model. And it's got their shock absorbing butt pad. It comes with 3 extra spacers to give you about a 3/4 inch longer butt pad, but like I say, I've already got to lean into the gun to get up to the proper eye relief on the scope the way it's mounted right now. But it's really a fairly comfortable stock. Back to the specs. The overall gun is 47.4 inches long. They advertise it at 50 pounds cocking effort. I measured it about 4 times and I got 45.5 up to 49.5 pounds. The 49.5 pounds cocking effort was the highest I measured. The gun's rated at 1,250 feet per second, shooting lead pellets, and this gun actually got up to 1,255 feet per second, so it actually meets the claim for feet per second. The average feet per second was 1231. We had a pretty high extreme spread with 36.77, but like I said, it got up to 1,255 feet per second. The most consistent pellet was the H&N Barracuda, and that's a 10.65 grain pellet, and we got up to 1,028 feet per second with that pellet, with an average of 1,022 feet per second. That's as fast, if not faster, than the average Magnum Springer slings a 7 grain pellet. We had an 11.5 foot per second extreme spread, standard deviation of 4.28, and a high muzzle energy of 25 foot-pounds. That's not bad for a 177 caliber. The beam and silver arrows were not quite as accurate, but we got up to 971.3 feet per second with that 11.57 grain pellet, and up to 24.24 foot-pounds muzzle energy. The shooting the RWS Hypermax is probably would be considered a 1,500 foot per second rifle shooting the alloy pellets. Got up to 1396, which is not bad. That's still 22.25 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, and it actually shot them fairly consistent, but it did like the H&M Barracudas the best. I'll put up the numbers right now so you can see all that, and then we'll take a close-up view of the rifle. Okay, here you can see it is a 177 caliber. You've got a muzzle brake to get a good grip for cocking, and a red fiber optic sight. I never did try the fiber optic sights. Your rear sight is micro click adjustable for elevation and windage. A blued steel barrel and a receiver. They use German steel on this gun. Here is your safety. You pull out the safety after cocking the fire. Here is their Quattro trigger. It's very adjustable, very good. And our stock is nothing spectacular, but it's a good, comfortable stock. Like I said, both the thumb hole grip and the raised cheek rests are strictly for right-handed shooters. And there's their butt pad, and that's very comfortable. And here you can see their combination Weaver dovetail scope mount, and as you can see that it doesn't have the horizontal grooving far enough back for me, so the scope's a little bit farther forward. And this is our CVLife 6 to 24 power scope. The battery for the illuminated reticle is right in here, and to turn on the illumination, your eye relief piece, your elevation and windage adjustments, and your yardage adjustments. Goes out to infinity. Is cranked all the way, so it's about 10 yards is about as close in as you're going to adjust it. But the scope does work really well in close range. Okay, I suppose next we should go to the accuracy test. I tested it with the H&N Barracuda 10.65 grain pellets at 20 yards, and I'd probably shot it 100-150 times before I did this test, and it was kind of a windy day, but all in all the rifle did fairly good. So let's take a look at the accuracy test. Okay, now for the real reason I bought this one. I wanted to see what kind of damage a 177 caliber could do at 12 yards against a 10-pound block of clay. The two pellets I selected for this test was the H&N Hornet 8 grain pellet. It's got a brass tip, and I thought that brass tip was going to just cut right through that 10-pound block of clay. And then the other one was the most powerful pellet, which is the H&M Barracuda 10.65 grain. And let me show you those two pellets. And even though the Barracuda is over 2.5 grains heavier, I really thought that H&N Hornet was going to slice all the way through that thing. So let's take a look at our ballistics test. And now this did not go at all like I thought it was going to. On the left here we have the H&N Hornet, which is a penetrator, and it appears to have only gone a few inches into the block. It made a much larger hole. And then here on the right we have the H&N Barracuda, which is semi-pointed and, you know, a completely lead pellet. And that pellet, when clear through the back, penetrated through the cardboard box surrounding it and through a couple layers of cardboard in the backstop and well into the backstop. So I thought, there's the pellet right there. Apparently it bounced off the backstop and back. That's the H&N Barracuda after penetrating the 10-pound block of clay. Held its shape fairly well. But and nevertheless, it went all the way through, bounced off the backstop and back into the hole. So now we're going to cut open the block. I'm thinking the pellet's probably right there. There we can see the cavern made by the H&N Barracuda. It went clean through, not as large a cavity as made by the H&N Hornet. I think right here is where the pellet is. Let's take a look. And this is what's left of the H&N Hornet. I did not think it was going to flatten out that much, but it really did. It surprised the hell out of me what happened. That H&N Hornet it made a bigger, larger cavity in the clay block than the heavier all-lead H&M Barracuda did. That shocked the heck out of me. Let's take a close-up look at the cavity that the H&N Hornet made. As you can see, it went about 3/4 of the way through, and it made a larger cavity, and it turned upward. And I think that's probably where it lost the brass tip, and it had to have flattened out right away. I can see where the this is the skirt, obviously, so this wide front flat face, which you saw when I pulled it out, it really made a heck of an impact, just exploding that cavity in there. And then the H&N Barracuda, which I thought was going to flatten out a lot more than the Hornet, that kept its shape. The head belled out just a little bit. It flattened the point. It's kind of a semi-pointed pellet, and it did not make as near a large a cavity, but at 12 yards it went clean through that 12-pound block of clay. Let's take a look at that cavity. So I guess anybody that says you don't want to go small game hunting with a .177 caliber, think again. These pellets acted completely different than they did with a Magnum Springer. When I shot a H&N Hornet .177 caliber into that 10-pound block of clay from a distance of about 4 feet with a Magnum Springer, that was a Crossman Vantage, probably a little over 17 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, and that was at that distance. It made about the same cavity as this one did at 12 yards. And the H&N Barracuda, that just amazed me, all the way through a 10-pound block of clay at 12 yards. So using that heavier .177 caliber pellet, you can see what kind of damage that pellet's going to do at 12 yards. It's going to be pretty devastating at 20 yards and even 25 yards. This gun does pack a wallop, and it also kicks like a mule, and so that is why I'm really kind of impressed with this CVLife scope. I've shot about 100 shots through it using this scope, and it has held up very well. It has stayed right on target. It never got fuzzy or anything, and it's just done a really good job. So if, you know, when you buy like these Crossman pellet rifles with the cheap 4x32 scope, this CVLife just blows them away, and is only $39.95. I would use this on my 125 sniper and on my Benjamin Trail NPXL 1100. You know, I like the scope that much. It's a good scope. So anyway, I'm impressed with the rifle. You know, the 40, it probably averages about 48.5 pounds cocking effort. A little bit less than my 125 sniper, and definitely less than, about 5-6 pounds less than the 135 carnivore. And it really packs a punch. It's 25 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, and it does meet the claimed feet per second. And I am not afraid to take this bugger out, and I would even shoot a raccoon with this thing using those H&M Barracuda pellets. It packs a good wallop, and you know, the all-weather stock, being right-handed, it really fits my hand good. I love the trigger on it, the safety. It's automatic, so you just pull out to fire. And I am going to change up and get a one-piece mount for this thing. But that's what a Super Magnum 177 caliber will do. And I don't know why I can't get all the way through a review without the phone ringing, but anyway, I really like this rifle, and I would definitely take it out and shoot a raccoon with it. Using that H&M Barracuda 10.65 grain pellet. That's my review of the, I guess I should back up and go what the guns cost. They don't sell this one anymore. From time to time you might find a refurbished one. I paid $109 for this one without a scope. I've seen it. The Vortex versions from $213.99 to an average of $239.99 is the average for this gun with the Vortex piston. They don't just sell it in the spring version anymore, but that is what the gun costs, and that's coming with a 3-9x32 scope. That's pretty cheap. I'd definitely go out and spend $39.95 for this CVLife scope. But that's my review of the Hatsan 125TH and the CVLife 6-24x50 AOEG scope. My name is Kenny Cormandy, and thank you for watching. And make sure to tune in to Daily Motion, because I will be posting my videos on Daily Motion before they go on YouTube. Thank you for watching.